How you doing? It's the Butcher here, and today I have a video. This is being recorded the day before Season 2, but I wanted to get up a leveling guide for Rogue for Season 2, so people that just jump in the season aren't going in completely blind and have something to go off of. I will upload a video probably within the first day or two after Season 2, kind of updating it and what kind of works best. We don't know a ton about the vampiric powers and things like that, but I wanted to show you a quick build that you can use off the start to get you kind of through that 1 through 50 grind is when you start getting into the real game, I like to call it, after the first, several hours of going through that grind and completing the seasonal story quest and doing that type of stuff. So I'm going to be using a rogue as a starter class in season 1 for a couple, or season 2, excuse me, for a couple of reasons. One, the rogue is my favorite class. I think it's the most fun. I think it's the most skillful. And I just like being able to be really quick and move around. And it is great for leveling, so I'll be able to get those ashes or urn or whatever it is to be able to increase the experience gained. And I think it's going to be a really good build as a boss killer too. There's a big emphasis on all those bosses they're adding. And poison imbuement rogue is probably going to be one of the best classes, and it's one of my favorite to play. I know it's not like a new one, but I definitely kind of want to try that out first. I am really excited as well to play Necromancer, specifically using minions. It looks like that got a buff, so look for that video on that down the line. And then also like either a Whirlwind Bleed or like a Rend Rupture Bleed Barbarian also sounds fun. But I definitely won't be doing the Barbarian until I can get as much experience possible, because the leveling process for Barbarian is terrible. But enough of that. Let's just go quickly kind of through the build. And I have a planner on the D4 Builds website, and that includes a leveling path for your skills. As you can see right here, I just created a new character, got him up to 25, so I can show you this because it's like the halfway point. Before level 25, I'll show you what to do. But once you get to 25, really the main thing you get is two things. One, you get your key passive, so you can grab momentum. And the other thing is you're able to imprint legendary aspects. So you're going to want to do, this is really the only one you need. I also have the rapid aspect on here as well, which increases basic attack speed. The accelerating one would be even better. I like to throw these on my rings and just not change them as I'm leveling up. You can throw them on your two-hand or amulet for increased power, but I like to change those out, so I'd rather just put them on the ring. So this is really the main one though, is Blade Dancer, so you get the twisting blades to spin around you. Really, that's the only one you need. Again, like I said, you could put either rapid or accelerating is even better on your other one if you really want to. But beyond that, for our specialization, so you unlock this once you get to level 20. We're using Inner Sight just because it's hard with kind of energy generation and energy kind of management early on in the game. So we're using Inner Sight instead of combo points, which I would suggest for probably later in the game. And then as far as our skill tree here, so you can kind of see what we did. This is 1 through 25, and again, I'll have it planned out, but I'll kind of just go through it tree by tree here, and then you can look at the planner and the leveling path to see how I do it. So I got Puncture into Enhance, into Fundamental, Twisting Blades maxed out, Enhanced into Advance, which is wrong. Oops. Okay. Sorry about that. So we actually want Improved. I don't know why I had that one on. But we want to improve there, sorry. And then we're taking 5 points into Twisting Blades. We're taking 3 into Stutter Step. We're taking Shadow Step into Enhance, into Disciplined. We're taking Dash into Enhance, into Methodical. We're taking Dark Shroud into Enhance, into Subverting. This is basically mainly because movement speed. You see, movement speed is really king for this. And then we're maxing out our Shadow Imbuement, and we're taking Enhanced Shadow Imbuement into Blended. Then down here we're going to be taking Adrenaline Rush, and then 3 into Haste. And then finally for our key passive, we're taking Momentum, as you can see, mainly for the energy regeneration and again the movement speed. So that's kind of the way we're setting up the first 25 levels. I'll have the leveling paths so you can see how you should allocate those points as you go down, because it's obviously not tree by tree how I just explained it. But this build is super fast, a really high emphasis on movement speed, and the Shadow Imbuement is a great kind of AoE. It doesn't work very well later in the game, but it works great early on in the game. Creates a pretty big AoE effect, kind of blows up everything around you. Rogue probably isn't the best leveling, probably be Necromancer, but or even Sork, but I'd probably say it's the second or third, and it's still really good for leveling. That it's so powerful late game. So that's basically how I have the skill tree set out, and then, you know, as we go along, we're gonna end up taking things, you know, like more damage, like exploit and malice here as well, but that'll be further down the line, and that'll be in the leveling path. But this should get you started, and I'm gonna show off, you know, kind of how it works and kind of what you should do. And I just keep upgrading my gear. Like, I literally just threw this, you know, together and started a new character. But really what you're looking for, I don't have it on these boots. You want movement speed on the boots. You want movement speed on the amulets. That's really it. And then just keep upgrading everything else, you know, that you get. And then you would preferably like attack speed and ranks of twisting blades on your gloves. But you're constantly switching those things out. So it's kind of tough, you know, very early on in the game when you're doing the leveling process. But I actually have a portal here. It takes us to whatever this place is, the dopamine tunnels or dopamine, whatever it's called. It is called Dohanine tunnels, sure. And I'm just going to run through this. This is one of my favorite places to kind of farm and level up quickly early on in the game. But you can also use this very easily to complete the seasonal storyline, so you can get access to those vampiric powers. And on the D4 planner, I'll just kind of talk as I run through. You're going to see that I have some powers written down. I'm not sure if those are going to be the best, but I mainly picked ones focusing on movement speed. That'll be good for early on in the game, hopefully. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to be posting another video like a day or two after Season 2 comes out with a better guide to how to get you through kind of the early portion of the game. You can see here we're kind of just spamming Twisting Blades and Shadow Imbuement, and once our Shadow Imbuement's up, we just try to spread that around as much as possible. And just kind of get these huge clusters of enemies and wipe them out. I'm not really paying too much attention, so the gameplay is probably awful, as it usually is. But as you can see, we can move through here pretty fast, and the Shadow Imbuement kind of just blows everything up. And I haven't been paying attention to my inner sight, but once you get that up, you obviously can just spam Twisting Blades. And then once we're moving through, it doesn't really matter as much in this dungeon since it ends up getting taken away. But that Dark Shroud for the movement speed, you get that up when you're moving kind of from horde to horde of monsters. You'll see we can blast through here. And make sure you have an elixir up. I'm pretty sure you can start crafting them at level 5, I think. You could just get another 5% XP. As you can see, once we get this up, we can just come spam Twisted Blades a bunch of times. And move on. And this, you know, I'm not worried about clearing out every single little thing. Just try to get as much as possible, try to get that poison imbuement or that shadow imbuement and as many enemies as possible and just have it blow up. And this should be a pretty good build to take you through the early portion of the game. Shadow imbuement's really good early. It's been that way basically since launch. Now, this is a softcore. I wouldn't use this if I was playing as you can see, just leveled up, but I wouldn't use this if I was playing a hardcore character. Just because it is a little bit squishy, I would go into things like sturdy and things like that, which on my planner I have you going into later just because in order to put the points. But probably at that point you'll be transitioning to more of a mid to end game build, maybe like poison imbuement most likely, or if you want to go like a range route, something like that. But for now, this works really well. You can kind of just let the poison blow them up too. You can shadow step and dash through pretty much everything. You get that huge just AoE blast. And the vampiric power should help this a ton. I saw there were several that helped with like movement speed and, you know, just more damage and things like that. So let's teleport out of here. So that's the build. That was just quick. You can do it even much faster than that. That wasn't being very efficient, but you can just blast through that. You can blast through the seasonal storylines. You should have no problem at all. And that should get you going for, you know, Season 2. I think Rogue's going to be a really fun class to play. I'm really excited for it. And I will, like I said, update this as soon as I can so you guys can have probably the most optimized builds, because this is kind of just the standard get you going Rogue with Shadow Imbuement. But I'm sure we're going to figure out some stuff with the seasonal mechanics. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoy and look out for that next one within the next couple days. Thanks.